team, I hope you're all well. Today is Bookmas day 8 and we are going to be doing my 25 books in 2025. If you watched yesterday's video, day 7's, which was my New Year's goals, the goals that I want to achieve in 2025, you will see a lot of tie-ins with that video with some of the books that I've picked for this video. So hopefully that will make sense. If it doesn't, maybe go back and watch yesterday's video and then come back and watch this one, because they do tie in massively. A lot of the goals, I've tried to make the books match for those goals. So I'm excited to do this. I have split this video into 2 different things. So last year, for 24 books in 2024, I did 12 books from 12 friends, and then I did top 12 priority. This year I struggled with a top anything priority specifically. So I have one top priority book that I have picked myself. I've got 12 books from 12 friends, so we're up to 13, and then we have Buzzwordathon which Kayla does every single year from Books and Lala, and she's been doing it a few years now. It used to be like a proper dedicated readathon, but she kind of just does the board now and then does it as a thing where we kind of run it ourselves essentially. And I thought that maybe this would be a fun way of picking 12 books instead. I'd love to actually achieve it one year. So I think that's what I'm going to do this year instead. So we've got 12 books from 12 friends, we've got Buzzwordathon, so that's 24 books, and then we've got one priority book that I have picked myself. Because apparently it's the only important book for me to read this year. That is not true. But with specifically as well, going back to yesterday's video, with specifically as well the Buzzwordathon prompts, I have, as much as I possibly can, tried to dedicate those prompts to the actual goals that I had for last year. So translated fiction, non-fiction works, and also subscription box books. You will see that in a second when we go. So I think what we'll do is we'll start off with the priority book, and then we will go on to Buzzwordathon because they're stacked closest to me, and then we'll do 12 books from 12 friends. So this could get a little bit complicated. The one priority book that I have is Empire of the Damned by J. Kristoff. This is book 2 in this series, and I didn't get to it in 2024, so I really want to get to it in 2025. The final one, I think, or at least the 3rd one in the series. I'm fairly certain it's the final one because I think this is a trilogy. The final one, 3rd one, whatever it is coming out towards the end in November, I believe, of 2025. So now's a great time to be picking this up and making it a priority in 2025. I love this series, it's so good. We are following Gabriel de Leon, who is, I'm fairly certain, if I remember correctly, he's half vampire, half human, and we're in a world where it's always dark and the vampires are ruling. I can't remember fully what the synopsis is, in all honesty, to this book. I can't fully remember, but it's fantasy, and basically it's told in stories from Gabriel de Leon. So we're following him in the first book. I think he's in prison or something. He's a prisoner of sorts, and he's telling someone his story. So we get his story from like beginning all the way through. And in this one, something that I do love that J. Kristoff has done with this series, so that we don't have to go back and read the first book again between releases, is that he's done this dramatis persona, I don't know how you pronounce that, where essentially he tells us about each of the characters and where we kind of left off with them in the last book. And I think that's fantastic because it means I don't need to go back and reread the first book, which, to be honest, I wouldn't hate, but these books are chunky, so I don't really want to do that. But I'm very excited about continuing on with this series, and this is like my only super duper priority for the year of 2025. There are other books that I obviously really want to get to, but as far as priority is concerned, I don't want to fall behind with this. So I do want to get to this one in 2025, and it's the only like super priority book for me. Okay, so then for Buzzwordathon, for January, the prompt is Truth and Lies. And for this one, I'm actually going to go with A True Crime Story by Joseph Knox. And I'm really excited about this one. This was to have a book that had the word true or truth or lies, liar, lying, etc. in the title. true crime story. This sounds really, really good. It is following, back in 2011, Zoe Nolan, a 19-year-old Manchester University student, walked out of a party alone. She was never seen again. And then we're 7 years later, we're following a writer called Evelyn Mitchell, who finds herself drawn into the mystery and begins piecing together what really happened back then. There's some versions of it that make sense, some where there are inconsistencies, and maybe Zoe was not who everybody thought she was. And she may be missing, presumed dead, but her story is only just beginning. And it looks really, really good. I've heard great things. It's like mixed media right the way throughout. There are pictures, there are emails, there's all sorts going on, and I'm very excited about reading this. It sounds really, really good, and I obviously live in Manchester as well, so I'm really looking forward to this one. I know Meg from Meg with Books really enjoyed this, so I'm looking forward to giving it a read. In February, we do have water related words, so for this one I'm going to go for the Rainfall Market, which is a translated book, so fits for the translated prompt. It is a Korean book, and this one says, stepping inside a magical and uplifting world in this Korean best-selling sensation. On the first day of the monsoon, an old ramshackle building appears. This is the Rainfall Market, and inside you will find magical bookstores, hairdressers, perfumeries, and anything your heart desires, but you cannot enter without an invitation. Serin, who lives in a small flat with her mother and dreams of a bigger, better life, can't believe her luck when she receives a ticket inviting her to step into the Rainfall Market. Once inside, she will have the opportunity to swap her life for a new one, a better one. Accompanied by Isha, the cat, and followed by a mysterious shadow, Serin tentatively steps inside. There she is told she has just 1 week to choose perfect life and find true happiness. However, there's a catch. If she doesn't find her dream life, she'll be trapped inside the market forever. Sounds really interesting, and I'm obsessed with this cover. It's so, so beautiful. And obviously it's got the word rainfall in it. Rain alone would work, but rainfall. For March, we have the word thing, so this could be something, thing on its own, everything. Other words with thing, I don't know. And I'm going to go for Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. I should have read this already. This is a non-fiction, National Book Awards Autobiography of the Year. Oh, I didn't realise it was an autobiography. Fascinating. There is no synopsis, which is wonderful news. Is there a synopsis at all? No. Okay, just great reviews apparently. Nothing to tell me what this is about. Well, apparently it's about everything I know about love, so interesting. I don't know anything about it. Deeply funny, sometimes shocking, and admirably open-hearted and optimistic. Steeped in furiously funny accounts of one-night stands, ill-advised late-night taxi journeys up the M1, grubby flat shares, and the beauty of female friendships as Alderton joyfully booze cruises her way through her 20s. Makes sense. Sounds about right. I loved it so much I wanted it to go on forever. Dolly Parton is so gifted at making people care, a rare talent. Marianne Keyes. Great review. With a new chapter on Everything I Know at 30. I will probably really enjoy this and very much so relate to it, so I'm very excited about giving this one a read. Is that a sticker? Oh, ew. Excited for this one. Thing. In April we have animals, and for this one I'm going to go for A Curse of Blood and Wolves by Melissa McTernan. This is a Fairy Loot romantasy book, and is obviously a subscription box book that I haven't read yet. I believe it's a Little Red Riding reimagining. Little Red Riding Hood reimagining, steamy one. Can you be drawn to someone you've never met? When Ruby feels the eyes of a stranger in the woods, she knows she should be scared, that she should run away, but she can't. Instead, she feels a thrill, feels drawn to this stranger who follows her in the woods, yearns for his eyes on her every night as she walks home, hoping to hear the crunch of leaves under his feet that signals he's there. Will he ever reveal himself? I don't know. Will he? Not sure. Yeah, I'm interested. Wolves. Animal. You know? In May we have 2 and 2. The different types of 2. Not the number though. And for this one I'm going to go for The Door-to-Door Bookstore by Karsten Hen, which again is translated. I'm not sure what language this one is translated from. Is it German? German. I'm looking forward to this one. It sounds really cute. There's a book written for every one of us. Carl may be 72 years old, but he's young at heart. Every night he goes to door to door delivering books by hand to his loyal customers. He knows their every desire and preference, carefully selecting the perfect story for each person. One evening as he makes his rounds, 9-year-old Sasha appears, loud and precocious. She insists on accompanying him and even tries to teach him a thing or two about books. When Carl's job at the bookstore is threatened, will the old man and the girl in yellow raincoat be able to restore Carl's way of life and return the joy of reading to the little European town? The door-to-door bookstore is a heartwarming tale of value of friendship, the magic of reading, and the power of books to unite us all. Sounds very, very cute, and I'm so excited about this. And it does have the word "to" in it. For June, we have a memory-related word. I struggle with this one really, really hard, but this was on as a suggestion on the Storygraph page, and I don't know whether or not it counts, but I think it does because your dreams are in your memories, you know what I mean? It's a memory thing, so I think it counts. We've got the Delegate Dream department store, which again is translated fiction, and if I also have the second one, so if I get to this before June, then I will pick up the second one, which is Return to the Delegate Dream department store. So yeah, I've ended up picking this one up. In a mysterious town that lies hidden in our collective subconsciousness, there's a quaint little store where all our dreams are sold. A captivating story that will leave a lingering magical feeling in readers' minds. This is the first book in a best-selling duology for anyone exhausted from the reality of their daily life. Sounds really cute. I'm not going to read the whole synopsis, otherwise we will be here all day, but it sounds really cute and it's a dream. I'm hoping that fits for the memory prompt. Next we have the prompt of featuring punctuation. Initially when I saw this I thought, oh shit, that's gonna be really hard, and then I saw a bunch of books that feature punctuation. I was like, oh, maybe it's not gonna be that hard, but then I wanted to pick either a non-fiction, a translated fiction, or a subscription box book, and then I was struggling. So the door-to-door bookstore would work for this one if I decided that I needed to do that book for this prompt and then pick a different book for the 2-2 prompt. But also I have Diddly Squat, Till the Cows Come Home. Do you see that? Till the Cows Come Home. It's got punctuation on it, by Jeremy Clarkson. This is the second in this series. I really enjoyed the first one. He did narrate the first one with an audiobook, but he's not done that with this one, and I don't know why, and it's really bothering me because I prefer the audiobooks. I like to listen to these because he tells them really, really funny. But anyway, we are back at Clarkson's farm, and it's just going on about his day-to-day life and what he's learning about running a farm, what he's learning about the farming industry and the agricultural industry, what he's learning about politics that are relating to both of those industries that now affects him massively as a farmer, and how he's finding ways either around it or to help other people, things like that. And it's just really, really insightful and very funny as well. There is a funny twist to it, obviously. It's Jeremy Clarkson, but I think what he's doing for the farming and agricultural industry is phenomenal, and he's bringing a lot of awareness to both industries, and I think it's really helping them out quite a bit, and I think it's really, really great what he's doing. I love watching his series on Prime. I love watching his TV series anyway, and I do have all of these books, so I would like to get through them all before the next one comes out, if he's going to do a next one, which I assume he will. But yeah, I would love for him to do audiobooks for these, and that's what I keep holding out for, but so far no such luck, so I'm just going to get on with it, I think. So this is a little bit further on in the year, so we'll see whether or not an audiobook comes out in the meantime, but if it doesn't, I will physically read it, but I'm excited to get to this one. In August we have the word with, so for this one I've gone for The Night Ends With Fire by KX Song. Again, another Fairy Loot book, so another subscription box book that I need to get to. An epic fantasy retelling of Mulan, perfect for fans of the Poppy War and Six Crimson Cranes. I love the Poppy War, haven't yet read Six Crimson Cranes. I do have that one as well as a subscription box book. So catch me watching that, reading that in 2025. I'm not going to go through the synopsis of this again, we will be here all year otherwise, but this is a very pretty edition and I'm hoping I like it. I know Jade, I think she gave it like a 3 or a 4 star. I think she thought it was alright, so I'm intrigued by this. I didn't realise there was so much foiling on this as well. Very pretty indeed. For September we have an event, and again I was trying to prioritise non-fiction translated fiction and also subscription box books, but I ended up going for Dinner for Vampires by Bethany Joy Lentz. Dinner is an event, going for dinner with someone, to someone's house for dinner. It's an event. I think it's an event. So I think that this will be a good one to read. I'm really interested. Bethany Joy Lentz played Haley James Scott on One Tree Hill, which is one of my favourite series of all time. It's not too long, and I'm interested to find out about this. A deliciously witty and inspiring memoir by One Tree Hill star Bethany Joy Lentz about her decade in a cult and her quest to break free. Written with powerful honesty and dark humour, Dinner for Vampires is an inspiring story about the importance of identity and understanding what you believe. I'm so intrigued about reading this one. I think it's about her time on One Tree Hill. I think the cult in question is One Tree Hill as a whole. I know there's been a lot of drama with the was it the producer that was a complete fucking creep, especially with the girls. So I'm interested to learn more about that because it is one of my favourite shows of all time, but I just hope it doesn't taint it with a red brush for me, because I would hate that. Like, I want to be able to still enjoy the programme whilst learning, understanding and recognising maybe what happened in the background, but still be able to enjoy the programme. Do you know what I mean? We'll find out anyway, but I'm really excited. I love Bethany, so I'm excited about this one. For October we have A Violent Word. I really struggled with this one to try and prioritise again my non-fic, translated fic and sub-box books, and then I started looking around the room and I just really struggled with this one. I just couldn't think of a book that I could pick for this one. If I really sat and thought about it for a long time, I could probably find something really easy, but I didn't, and I really wanted to try and prioritise the goals, you know. So I ended up going for Enough, The Violence Against Women and How to End It by Harriet Johnson. Now it's not a violent word, but it's got the word violence in it, so I think it counts. I don't know whether it does or not. Maybe I'll be able to find another book with a violent word in it that will actually fulfill the prompt, but for now I'm going to go for this. Again, it's another non-fiction book, and it's one that I've had for a while and I've heard good things. This is a book that calls time on the endless tide of violence against women and the failures of the criminal justice system to respond. Addressing misogyny is everyone's benefit, and the answer isn't simple. Enough is the call to arms we can and must get behind. It sounds fascinating, and I'm really interested to give this a read, and I think it will be one that I will probably end up maybe annotating and tabbing quite heavily, so we'll see with that one. For November we have Never. Look at Kayla with her alliteration, Never November, which is hilarious because December's prompt is alliteration. But for November we've got the word never. So I honestly, I'm not kidding, as far as Goodreads is concerned, now I don't have every single book on my shelves on my Goodreads want to read, but according to Goodreads this is the only book on my shelves that I haven't read yet with the word never in it. Now I don't know how true that is because I don't think I've got every single book on there, but I think I've got pretty much almost all of them on there. So apparently this is the only book, and it's Never Saw Me Coming by Vera Curlin, which is just a mystery thriller, which is absolutely fine. I can't, obviously not every single one of them I'm going to be able to fit within my goals, but it's a book that's been on my TBR for a while, so I would like to get to it. I've never met someone like me, but when I do, eventually, I think it will be like two wolves meeting in the night, sniffing and recognising a fellow hunter. Okay, that's weird. Never Saw Me Coming is a sharp, electrifying and hugely entertaining thriller with an anti-hero who will work her manipulative magic on you. Fair enough, that's all I know. Maybe that's all I want to know, I don't know. Chloe looks like an ordinary university student, but she's actually a highly intelligent psychopath out for revenge. Okay, no, sign me up. That sounds great. The only book apparently I have with the word never in it. And then, as mentioned, for December we've got alliteration. I struggled with this one a little bit because I wanted to, none of my goal books fit, first of all, but I also wanted to, well, Return to the Delicate Dream department store would work for this, but I kind of want to get through that duology before December. So that was another thing as well. I had to make sure it would be a book that I would still have unread by December. So I've ended up going for a Christmas book that I haven't yet read at the point of filming this in December, and I don't think I will get a chance to do so, and I'm likely to only read it again next year. I forgot I had it, to be perfectly honest. It's right at the top of my shelves with the others in the series, and it's the last one that I currently have in the series, and it is A Christmas Carol by Tom Fletcher. So I haven't read this one yet. I am collecting these for my nephew, basically, for Thomas. He doesn't know this yet. He knows about the Amelia Fang ones. I told him about them and he says it tells every single person that comes in the house when he's here. He's obsessed. So I haven't told him about these ones yet because he'll want them right now and I'm still reading them. So yeah, I'm going to do this one. This follows our young friend who is called, not Tom because that's the name, William. Tom is the name of the author. William Trundle, who is in a wheelchair. And in the first book, we've got William and his dad, Bob. And then we also have Brenda Payne, who actually bullies William in the first book, but they end up becoming really good friends. In fact, incredibly close as well. And then we've also got Santa, and we've got the Christmasaurus, who comes out of an egg, and William actually finds the Christmasaurus. And then the Christmasaurus takes William to Santa. And there's a whole thing about Christmas. And then it just goes on. So this one, we've got Christmasaurus Carol. CC, alliteration, it works, right? So that is the final prompt for the Buzzwordathon, and I've completed it with that one. I thought the Christmas book would be a good shout, essentially. So those are the first 13 books for this. So the last 12 are 12 books from 12 friends, and my stack is looking pretty hefty, I've got to be honest. I'm a little bit nervous about this because I haven't completed one of these yet, but what I will say is that I'm actually a little bit more confident about this stack than I have been in previous years, because I think all of this has essentially been my patrons, but I think they've all been really generous with me because they know that I'm not currently in my fantasy era. So if they've put a fantasy on here, it's for the most part romantasy. So I truly appreciate them for that, which is great news. So the books are as follows. From Joe, we have got Starling House by Alex E. Harrow. I can, in all honesty, don't think I'm gonna like this book, but I kept hold of it because it's absolutely stunning. This is the Illumicrate edition, and I had to get a second copy because mine was ripped down here. So they did send me a replacement, and on that basis I do want to give it enough of a chance that I don't just unhaul it without reading it. I've tried 2 books from Alex E. Harrow and DNF'd them both. The writing style just doesn't suit me at all. So we'll see whether or not it works for this one, but I am very intrigued by this one. I think it's in the same vein as like Mexican Gothic and not What Feasts at Night, but What Moves the Dead. I think it's in the same vein as that, but I'm not 100% certain. I think it's like a haunted house type story. So I am intrigued about this one. And we'll see whether or not I actually like it. I'm not 100% confident that I will, but I'm excited that it's on here. First of all, it's a subscription box book, so it will also force me to pick it up for that reason. But second of all, it means I actually get to it. So thanks, Joe, for putting that one on here. Then from Amanda, I do have Rainbow Grey. This is the second one, Eye of the Storm. So I've read the first one, but I need to read the second and third one. So my aim is to finish this series for the year. I'm really excited about doing so. We do follow 10-year-old Ray, who essentially she's learning to master her magic. Everyone else around her already knows what they're doing with their magic, but she's just really struggling. And yeah, we're just following her with this, following a magic story. So this is Laura Ellen Anderson, which again I've just mentioned with Amelia Fang. Loved the Amelia Fang series, so I'm hoping that this will be the same, and then I'll keep the books for Thomas. But it's very heavily illustrated, and I think it's the one that's got Gavin in it. I'm fairly certain that there's one that's got Gavin in it. Gavin Wetherington, unless it's the last one. I can't remember. Maybe I've made that. No, I don't think I've made that up. I'm excited about this anyway. Thanks, Amanda, for putting this one on for me. I truly appreciate it. And from Claire, she has put In the Lives of Puppets on for me by TJ Clune, which is another subscription box book. I had the Waterstones edition of this as well. I've since unhauled it because I've got the Illumicrate edition coming as well, and I don't need 3 copies of this book. Despite how different they all are, I don't need them. So this is the Fairalute edition. I am looking forward to this one. I believe that this is a retelling. Welcome to the heart of a peculiar forest and the beginning of an extraordinary journey. Delve into a futuristic retelling of Pinocchio with androids and found family. Join Vic, Rambo and Nurse Ratched on their remarkable adventure. Who knows what you might find along the way. I believe it's queer, and I'm very excited about giving it a try because I have enjoyed TJ Clune before. So I'm looking forward to this one. Thank you, Claire, for adding that on. Then from Lorraine, she did give me 2 options. She actually mentioned Robin Hobb, so that would end up being a Royal Assassin. However, she did also say that if that is too much for me, which it probably will be, and I don't want to fully make that commitment. I would like to get back to Robin Hobb in 2025, but we'll see. And in order to actually achieve this goal and maybe actually, you know, complete it, that would be great. She did say to me that she wants to also put on Just Like Home by Sarah Gailey, and I could pick between the two. So I picked this one. I know it's the easy route out, but it means that there is a good chance I could still actually manage to complete this challenge for 2025, which is what I really want. So maybe I'll get back to Robin Hobb, who knows, but we'll see. So this one I believe is a haunted house story, and I have tried to start this before and then put it down, and I want to come back to it because I've heard good things. Just Like Home is a darkly gothic thriller from national best-selling author Sarah Gailey, perfect for fans of Netflix's The Haunting of Hill House as well as HBO's true crime masterpiece I'll Be Gone in the Dark. So I've read The Haunting of Hill House and given it 2 stars. It wasn't great. I haven't watched the TV series, which I do think I would enjoy more, but I have read and watched I'll Be Gone in the Dark and loved it. So I'm looking forward to this one. It sounds great. So thank you, Lorraine, for that one. From Tracy, we do have Immortal Dark by Tiger Skirma. This one is the first in a deliciously dark, dangerously romantic black vampire trilogy. I'm very excited. It's a tale as old as time, bloodthirsty vampire, innocent maiden. Except this maiden isn't so innocent. This maiden is a murderer. Sign me up. I'm really excited about this one. It sounds great. So thank you, Tracy, for adding this one onto my list. Then from Victoria, I've got a book that's been on my shelves for a while and I would really like to get to, and it is Anxious People by Frederick Backman. I got so confused for a minute then because I saw Matt Haig here and I was like, I'm fairly certain this is Frederick Backman. It is. It's a review from Matt Haig. I haven't read this one yet, and I'm really excited to do so. I don't know why I've been holding back on it. New Year's Eve and House Tricks estate agents are showing people around an upmarket apartment when an incompetent bank robber rushes in and politely takes everyone hostage. For Annalena and Roger, busy buying up apartments to fill the hole in their marriage, it's something else to talk about. For Julia and Ro, panicky parents-to-be, it's yet another worry. Lonely bank manager Zara only came here for the view, while 87-year-old grandmother Estelle seems rather pleased by the company. As the police gather outside, the anxious strangers huddle within, trying to make the best of a very sticky situation. But could it be that they have a whole lot more in common than meets the eye? It sounds really interesting, and I'm really hoping I enjoy this one. I've heard very good things, so I can't wait to give it a read. Oh, it's got little bits of mixed media in it as well, maybe like interview transcripts or something. Oh, conversations. Fascinating. So I'm really looking forward to this one. It sounds great. Thank you, Tracy, for adding that one on here. Next from Lindsay, we do have Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. I'm glad that Lindsay's put this on here actually, because if I was just going to do the rest outside of 12 books from 12 friends, this was going to be a priority for me for the year anyway, so she's already filled that spot for me. This is a romance, I believe. I don't know much about it at all. I believe that it's a little bit, if you think along the lines of Gossip Girl, like Upper East Side and all of that shit, I believe it's along those types of lines, I think. I don't know much about it. I just know it's very, very popular and I really do want to give it a read. And I did get the old indie covers because I hate with a passion the new covers. They look terrible. Thank you to Lindsay for putting this on my TBR. From Theo, we do have another TJ Klune, and we've got Raven Song by TJ Klune. This is the second in the green something. I don't know. I've forgotten what it's called. Green Creek series. I do not know. Green Creek series success. Wolfsong is the first one, and I enjoyed Wolfsong. It is queer and it is about werewolves. Werewolves? I think so. And I'm excited to get back to these books and back to the pack and find out what's going on. I'm going to have to either reread or read a, you know, a thingamabob that'll tell me exactly what happened in Wolfsong, because I can't remember. It's been years since I read it, so I do want to continue on with this one. This is another series that I would love to complete in 2025, so we'll see whether or not that happens. But I'm excited. Thanks, Theo, for adding that one on here. Next from Stace, we do have Hideaway by Penelope Douglas, which is the second one in the Devil's Night series. I loved Corrupt. It was so good. This is a twisted, dark romance in which a girl is being targeted by 4 guys for something that happened in their past, And yeah, this one continues on following one of the guys and then a relationship that he ends up in. So I'm really intrigued. Loved the first one. I think I gave it 5 stars, and I'm very excited about continuing on. Another series I would like to complete in 2025. We'll see whether or not that happens. But yeah, very excited about this one, and thank you to Stace for putting this on here. CC did put on a book that I do not own, and it is King of Hearts by Vike Peters. No idea what this is about. I'll show a picture of the cover here. Not a clue what the synopsis is. I can't remember if it's a romance or not. I'm not sure. But I'm intrigued regardless, so we'll see how this goes. Then Hattie was super duper nice, and she put Spy Family on here. I think I'm up to volume 6. I'm gonna have to double check, but I think I'm up to volume 6. I currently have up to volume 12, so I do have a lot to be getting through. Again, another series I would like to get up to date with. I think they're still coming out, so another series I would like to get up to date with, and I will see this as an opportunity to do so. But she did just say Spy Family, so whatever volume I'm up to next, that one is the requirement. So thank you, Hattie, for that. Because last but by no means least, Kendra did put on an absolute mammoth of a book for me, but I'm glad she's done so, because again, this would have been on my priority TBR if not. And it's another reason why I didn't do a priority TBR, because a lot of the books that I was going to prioritize did end up on here for 12 books from 12 friends, because they know what I want, you know, they know what I should be prioritizing. So Kendra did put on Zodiac Academy for Shadow Princess, which is where I'm up to with this series by the Twisted Sisters. So I loved this series, and I was blasting through Zodiac Academy, and then I found a reading order in which it was like Zodiac Academy 1 through till 3, and then before you pick up 4 you have to pick up the first in the Ruthless Boys series, and then I think you had to come back to volume 4 and then book 2 in Ruthless Boys, or book 2 and 3 in Ruthless Boys. I don't know, the whole thing was quite messy, and I didn't really enjoy Ruthless Boys, I've got to be honest. I've since unhauled that series, and I'm only going to read Zodiac Academy. I'm not even going to do Dartmoor Penitentiary, I don't think, which comes like 5 years after. Ruthless Boys comes 5 years before, or whatever order they go in, I don't know. But I'm just going to continue on with Zodiac Academy. But since then, I've not been reaching for this, and I think it's because I've been intimidated by the size of this, because it's over 750 pages, and I am terrified, and the books do get bigger as you go on. So I'm a little bit nervous, and I think had I just carried on motoring with these, like maybe a book a month or a book every other month, I'd have been much further on by now, maybe even up to date. But I ended up slowing right down because of that other book. So I'm a little bit gutted about that. Dark Fae, I think it was. But it is what it is. So Kendra's put this on here for me, and we'll see how this continues. I need to make a decision on this regardless anyway, whether I'm going to continue on with it or whether I'm just going to stop and DNF the series, and I can unhaul the books that I've got so far, because I think I've got up to up to book 8 in the series, which is a lot of books on my shelves to be taken up, especially as they get bigger. So those are all the books on my 12 books from 12 friends. And those are all the books as a whole on my 25 books in 2025. This video has ended up being so much longer than I anticipated. I am not going to apologise. I said it in my head. I'm not saying it out loud. Chat to me in the comments down below. Have you done 25 books in 2025, or do you do something different? If you have done 25 books in 2025, how have you prioritised it? Have you split it up into different things like me with Buzzwordathon and then 12 books from 12 friends? Or did you just pick 25 books off your shelves that you want to read in 2025? Let me know in the comments down below. What are some priority reads for you? I'm interested. Anything that I should prioritise out of my priorities above everything else. Obviously the Buzzwordathon ones, my aim is to read those in the month that they've been picked for. That's the whole point. That's my aim. I do think I might try and do the book cover one as well. She's done a secondary one this year, Kayla, for Buzzwordathon, which is like a book cover one, but I think I may just like loosely dip in and out of that. We'll see how that goes. You never know, some of the books might even fit, so we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Chat to me in the comments down below, and I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Bye for now.